Doctors are weighing in on a newly approved, supposedly addiction risk-free painkiller. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh Regional Transit is looking for more funding. A major offices to apartments conversion project is nearly done. Also, Brood 14 will emerge this spring. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. On Thursday, the Food and Drug Administration approved painkiller Journavx for acute pain, reports the Tribune Review. Now, what makes this notable is that the drug's maker, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, claims that Journavx is free of addiction risks, making it what one doctor calls, quote-unquote, potentially groundbreaking in the wake of the opioid epidemic. However, when it comes to those addiction-free claims, a lot of doctors in Pennsylvania have said they've heard that one before, from opioid makers. A number, like clinical psychologist at UPMC, Carlin A. Edwards, believe Journavx has the potential, quote, to be really helpful to a lot of people, unquote, while stating more studies need to be done to explore the veracity of this claim. Edwards also notes that the medication is expected to be $15 a pill, meaning that the number of patients who can afford it might be limited. Director of Westmoreland County's Department of Relations and Prevention, Tim Phillips, also admits he's optimistic, but cautiously so. Says he, quote, "Look at the history you have with the Oxycontin mess. We ended up with the mess we have now." Pittsburgh Regional Transit is looking for more funding, reports the Pittsburgh Union Progress. $117 million more, in fact, which is a roughly 33% increase from the current state subsidy of about $290 million. CEO Catherine Egan Kellerman drove home the severity of the transit's financial situation last week, explaining how service cuts, fare increases, and layoffs will have to happen next year if no financial aid is given, similar to SEPTA's predicted quote-unquote death spiral. And it's not just the Pittsburgh area that'll suffer, she said, but much of the state. Said Kellerman, quote, "It's every transit entity in the state facing financial trouble. No entity is going to survive." Philadelphia's first major office-to-residential conversion of the post-pandemic era is almost done, states the Philadelphia Inquirer. Altera Property Group is on schedule to finish converting the property at 1701 Market Street by Memorial Day and will even start leasing units in March. The building used to be occupied by law firm Morgan Lewis, but now that they're out, 299 apartments will be available for anyone looking to rent in Philadelphia. The building comes complete with 190 parking spots too, and even a rooftop pool. If Paul Revere were still alive, he'd probably be shouting, "The cicadas are coming," supposes PennLive. Probably. Brood 14, the second largest periodical cicada brood there is, will emerge in 13 states this spring. Pennsylvania is one of the 13. Brood 14 has a 17-year life cycle and will start to come out when the soil warms up a bit, probably around mid-May. They're loud, they're many, and they're ugly, but cicadas aren't harmful to humans. And cicada experts and enthusiasts would also like people to stop calling them locusts, please. That wraps up today's episode. For even more news, drop by PennLive.com. Also, please remember to rate this podcast and to leave it an honest review as well, please. Thanks ahead of time, and of course, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Today in PA.